What is up, everybody? Today we're going to be ranking 70s metal albums again for part 2. And this time I didn't include as many albums because a lot of the bands in part 1 only released one album in the 70s, and their next album wouldn't come out until like 1980 or 1981. So unfortunately, there's a lot of great bands I could not include again. But I still feel like there's enough albums in this video to make a decently long video. So yeah, we'll get started with Black Sabbath's self-titled album. And it's amazing. This is easily my favorite album from the band, along with Heaven and Hell. Definitely my favorite Ozzy era album. Arguably the first metal album. It's debated, but I'd say it is. And it's the perfect mix between heavy metal, hard rock, blues rock, and occult rock. And a little bit of psychedelia as well. It's just an objectively great sounding album. Every song is great. There's a ton of great solos, a ton of great riffs. It's very chilling, very haunting. The drumming is very great. The bass. Every band member is doing their best job here. And honestly, there's not really much to say other than it's amazing. And it's one of the best albums ever made. So yeah, I already covered it in my Black Sabbath video, but that's my quick rundown of this album again. Basically, amazing album that mixes genres and was very ahead of its time. Next we got Stained Class by Judas Priest. And this album's also amazing. Easily the most metal sounding thing up until that point. Lots of razor sharp riffs. A lot of razor sharp, dang, I can't speak, solos. Very fast drumming. Borders on speed metal at times. And yeah, Rob Halford's vocals are even more ear-piercing than they were in the past. In a good way, of course, not in like a ow, this hurts me in a way, more like a yeah way. So yeah, a lot of great songs on here. Tons of variety too. Some songs are faster, some songs are slower. Some songs are more straightforward, some are more experimental, some are more ballady. There's a lot of variety on this album, and it's just so great. It's very metal sounding, and probably the most metal sounding album on this list, if I'm gonna be honest. So yeah, Stained Class, easily one of the best albums of the decade. And if you have not listened to it, change that immediately, because you're missing out. Next we got Bomber from Motorhead, and it's fine. I don't like it as much as Ace of Spades and Overkill. However, it's not bad. It's not terrible. There are a few good songs I do like though, like Sharpshooter and the title track. The title track's one of the best Motorhead songs. Talking Head's pretty good. Stone Dead Forever's catchy. So yeah, those 4 songs are not too shabby. However, the rest of the songs never really clicked with me the same way their other stuff did. So yeah, decent album, but not one that I revisit that often. But I still think it's worth a couple of listens. Next I got Narita from Riot, and it's good. It's no masterpiece, however it is still a very competent album. There's a lot of good songs, especially Road Racing. That's easily one of the best metal songs around that time. I love the other songs like Born to Be Wild, the title track, Do It Up, very great songs. And yeah, if you want to dive deeper into 70s metal, besides the obvious classics, then Narita is a good album for that. It's pretty fast, pretty heavy for the time, and you won't be disappointed, trust me. If you already like Riot's 80s stuff, this sounds a bit different from that. However, I still think you'll like it, so there's no issue with checking it out, really. You won't regret it. Next, I got First Days Here from Pentagram. Now, this technically came out in 2001. However, all the recordings are from the 70s. And Pentagram are very underrated when it comes to that. They should get more credit for the demos they made in the 70s, since they were basically one of the first ever metal bands. But no one knows that because they never actually released a studio album in the 70s. But I include them anyway, because they're still important to 70s metal. And yeah, I'd say it's great. Definitely a nice proto-doom metal album. A lot of great songs. like Forever My Queen, Hurricane, 20 Bucks a Spin. And yeah, Pet Rip are very ahead of their time with this album. Basically sounds like American Sabbath. And if you love that 70s doomy, bluesy metal sound, then there's no reason not to listen to this. In fact, I need to listen to Pentagram again now that I think about it. So yeah, you won't be disappointed. Next, I got Rainbow's third album, Long Live Rock and Roll. And this album's kind of on the cusp between hard rock and heavy metal. However, I'd still say it's close enough. Borderline, but we'll still include it anyway. And it's also a great album. Most of the songs I like. The only song I don't like is the last song, Still I'm Sad. All the other songs are great. Very heavy. Still a lot of fantasy themes here. And honestly, the last truly great album that Rainbow made. So yeah, the vocals are on point, because of course it's Dio. The riffs are on point, of course, because it's Richie Blackmore. And yeah, if you liked Rising, or the debut, then there's no reason to not check out this. More of that same 70s metal / hard rock goodness. So yeah. Next we got Love Drive from Scorpions. And this is probably my least favorite album on this list. However, it barely is above bad tier. I would say it's pretty mid. It's not bad. It's just mid. Not much really to say. I definitely prefer Taken by Force. Like it's not bad, but I don't even really like it that much. One of the more forgettable Scorpions albums from this time. Yeah, there's not really much to say. That's basically it. Next, I got Bang's first album. Also on the cusp between hard rock and heavy metal. But I do think it's a little overrated. Like, it's fine, but I don't really like it that much. It basically just sounds like a poor man's Sabbath. And the vocals are decent, but don't save it. There's a few good riffs, but overall, this is just like a generic heavy rock album from the 70s. I almost didn't include it, but I decided to because one guy recommended me to do so, and I did it. So, yeah, basically just a poor man's Sabbath. This band has been getting a lot more popularity recently, which good for them, you know. It's obviously good promoting lesser known bands, but for me, it just doesn't do much. So yeah, definitely a hard pass for me. Next we got Volcanic Rock from Buffalo, and it's good. Well, I don't know. Should I put in great or good? Let's put good. Looks more balanced that way. Definitely a good, more obscure proto-metal album. A lot of good riffs. Very new wave of British heavy metal sounding, even though they're Australian. And yeah, probably my favorite Australian metal album. It is very good, not that long either, so you save a lot of time. Shylock and Sunrays Come My Way are particularly very good songs. So yeah, if you feel like checking out obscure proto-metal from the 70s, please listen to this. And yeah, just an underground gem that you should check out from Australia. Australia. And finally, we have a really, really, really obscure album. First Investment by Money. This is an early new British heavy metal album. And this album is extremely obscure. Like, the only reason I was able to find it out was just browsing on Radio Music. Just out of boredom. And it's honestly a great album. Extremely underrated. Almost every song I love. And yeah, it kind of reminds me of a mix between Van Halen and Guns N' Roses, kinda, but British and more metal sounding. And it's honestly a great listen. And if you're nostalgic for the late 70s and the early 80s, or around that time, then this album may fit your nostalgia pretty well, because it does sound a lot like music from that time. So yeah, I 100% recommend it. Please listen to this really, really underground gem. Please do. First Investment My Money needs more fans. And yeah, that's my part 2 of 70s metal albums. If you liked it, make sure to check out more videos, like, subscribe, all that stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next video.